Okay, so you're dreaming of Italy,
Mm-hmm.
specifically Emilia-Romagna,
Yes.
but picking between Modena, Bologna, and Parma,
Right.
it's like choosing between pasta, pizza, and gelato.
I know.
They all sound amazing.
Yeah.
So let's use these travel blogs you sent us to crack the code.
Okay.
Which city is your perfect fit?
I love it.
All right.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
each city has
Yeah.
its own flavor.
Yep.
Modena is all about that high-octane Ferrari energy
Right.
paired with the slow, deliberate craft of balsamic vinegar.
Interesting.
Bologna. Well, that's where you go to feel the pulse of history in the world's oldest university.
Wow.
And then fuel up on incredible food.
Of course.
And Parma.
Yeah.
It's calling out to those who crave a slower pace, charming streets.
I like it.
And of course, the king of cured meats, prosciutto di Parma.
You had me at prosciutto.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so from your blogs,
Yeah.
it seems like Modena's got the wow factor on lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, the Romanesque Cathedral and Palazzo Ducale,
Mm-hmm.
those are straight out of a history book.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Ghirlandina Tower,
Oh, yeah.
it's like something Rapunzel would have hung out in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's where Modena gets really clever.
Okay.
They've got the Enzo Ferrari Museum, which is basically a shrine to speed and Italian engineering.
Right.
But then, bam, they hit you with the Balsamic Vinegar Museum. Talk about a 1-2 punch.
It's like they're saying, come for the adrenaline rush, stay for the taste bud explosion.
Really?
I'm into it.
Uh-huh.
What about Bologna? You mentioned it's got serious history cred.
Seriously. Serious. The University of Bologna dates back to 1088.
Wow.
Imagine over 900 years of knowledge and scholarship swirling around those buildings.
That's intense.
And the Archiginnasio.
Uh-huh.
That's not just some dusty old library.
Wow.
It's the oldest academic building in the world.
Wow.
Think about all the minds that have passed through those halls.
Okay, I'm starting to feel a bit intimidated by all this brain power.
Yeah.
But luckily, Bologna also knows how to feed a crowd.
Oh, for sure.
You can't talk about Bologna without mentioning the food.
Exactly.
Right.
It's not just about history.
Yeah.
Bologna is about experiencing life to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the massive Basilica of San Petronio, the iconic two towers.
I love those.
I mean, who doesn't love a good leaning tower?
Right.
And the Fountain of Neptune.
Beautiful.
It's a city that stimulates your senses from every angle.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's round out our trio with Parma.
Yes.
It's got the Romanesque architecture thing going on too, right?
Absolutely. The cathedral and baptistry are stunning.
Yeah.
No two ways about it.
Beautiful.
And then there's the Palazzo della Pilata, home to some serious art treasures.
I've heard of that.
But what sets Parma apart is its drama.
Drama.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, you've got the Teatro Farnese, a Baroque masterpiece that just oozes grandeur.
Nice.
And the Church of Santa Maria della Stoccata.
Okay.
It's a Renaissance gem, full of intricate details and a sense of quiet contemplation.
Sounds peaceful.
Parma is all about those moments of beauty that catch your breath.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've explored grand cathedrals, leaning towers, and even a theater fit for royalty.
We have.
But let's be real.
Okay.
After a day of soaking up all that history and art,
Right.
you need a comfy place to crash.
For sure.
What are our options for hotels in these cities?
Well, if you're looking for a luxurious escape, Modena and Parma have the edge.
Okay.
We're talking 5-star hotels with all the bells and whistles.
Nice.
Modena even has the Casa Maria Luigia,
Oh, yeah?
opened by none other than Michelin-starred chef Massimo Bottura.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a foodie's dream come true.
Wait, you can sleep in a hotel created by a culinary superstar.
I know.
Sign me up.
Uh-huh.
What about Parma?
Yeah,
Any luxury standouts there?
definitely.
Okay.
The Grand Hotel de la Ville is the place to be if you're seeking that old-world charm and pampering.
It sounds fancy.
But don't worry, if you're on a tighter budget, Bologna's got you covered.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
So no matter your budget, there's a comfy bed waiting for you in Emilia-Romagna.
that's right.
But what about the food?
Yes.
The real reason we're all obsessed with Italy.
Okay.
Where do we even begin?
Let's talk about the Holy Trinity.
Right.
Parmesan cheese, prosciutto, and balsamic vinegar.
The trifecta.
Bologna is your launch pad for epic food tours that hit all three.
I'm already drooling.
Uh-huh.
So, Bologna for the ultimate foodie adventure.
Exactly.
Ah.
You can find tours that take you from Parmesan cheese factories to prosciutto producers to traditional balsamic vinegar makers.
Oh, wow.
It's a deep dive into the heart of Italian culinary traditions.
So we've got Bologna as the foodie central.
Yes.
But I'm curious,
Okay.
how does it stack up against Parma and Ferrara when it comes to the overall vibe?
Right.
These blogs you sent mentioned some interesting traveler perspectives. What are they saying?
What's interesting is that travelers often describe Parma and Ferrara as being more intimate and charming,
Okay.
with a slower pace of life compared to the bustling energy of Bologna.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so Parma for the win. If you're a foodie who wants to savor the experience without feeling rushed.
That seems to be the consensus.
Interesting.
Now, Bologna does have incredible history and vibrancy,
Right.
but some travelers find it a bit gritty. It really depends on your personal preference.
Right. It's all about finding the right fit.
Exactly.
Speaking of fit, we haven't forgotten about the Ferrari fanatics out there.
Of course not.
If you're planning on hitting up the Ferrari Museum, A&D, indulging in some balsamic vinegar tastings.
Yes.
The article has some helpful travel times.
Okay.
Let's break it down.
All right, let's map this out.
Okay.
Parma to Modena is about an hour's drive.
Okay.
From Modena, it's a quick 30-minute trip to both Maranello, where the Ferrari Museum is located, and to the balsamic vinegar producers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Modena is strategically located for those who want to experience both the thrill of fast cars and the delicious complexity of balsamic vinegar.
It is.
What if you're starting in Parma and want to hit those same spots?
Okay.
Yeah.
From Parma to Maranello, you're looking at about an hour-and-a-half drive
Okay.
and about an hour to the balsamic vinegar producers.
Gotcha. So it's doable from Parma.
It is.
But Modena definitely has the advantage of being closer to the action.
Definitely.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked history, architecture, hotels, and even gotten a taste of the incredible food scene.
Yes.
But let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
What are the top activities these blogs recommend for each city?
Well, in Parma, it's all about those food tours.
Okay.
Think Parmesan cheese tastings, prosciutto demonstrations,
I'm in.
and exploring the local culinary scene beyond the big names.
Nice.
Modena, as we've discussed,
Yep.
is a haven for balsamic vinegar lovers.
Right.
You can take tours of traditional producers, learn about the aging process, and of course, indulge in tastings.
Of course. Sounds like a vinegar lover's dream.
It is.
What about Bologna?
Bologna is all about embracing the Bolognese way of life.
I like it.
Think fresh pasta making classes.
Oh, yeah.
Wandering through the historic markets.
Nice.
And indulging in the local specialties like mortadella and regional cheeses.
Okay, so each city has its own distinct flavor when it comes to activities.
For sure.
But let's not forget about those day trip possibilities.
Oh, yeah.
The article mentions some tempting options.
Right.
Like Torricchiara Castle, Fontanellado, Piacenza, and Busseto.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I read about that.
Yeah.
It looked really cool.
Yes, and those are just a few examples.
Right.
Each city offers easy access to explore the surrounding countryside and charming towns.
Wow.
You could easily spend a week in this region and still only scratch the surface.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So much to see.
I know, it's incredible.
So many places to eat.
Definitely.
Yeah. So many choices. So little time.
I know, right?
It's starting to feel like we need a vacation just to plan this vacation.
Haha, I know what you mean.
But that's the fun part, right?
Exactly.
And this is where those traveler insights become so valuable.
Yeah, for sure.
Remember, some people raved about Bologna's energy,
Mm-hmm.
while others found it a bit too much and preferred the slower pace of Parma or Ferrara.
It's all about what you're looking for.
Okay, so thinking about our listener, the person actually planning this trip,
Great.
what questions should they be asking themselves to narrow down their choice?
Well, first let's talk about the kind of experience they're craving.
Okay.
Do they picture themselves strolling through quiet, charming streets?
Yeah.
Savoring a long, leisurely lunch in a sunny piazza?
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Or are they drawn to the energy of a bustling university town with students and street performers adding to the vibrancy?
Right, because those are two very different vibes.
Exactly.
It's like choosing between a jazz trio in a cozy wine bar or a rock concert in a packed stadium.
That's a great analogy.
And let's not forget about the foodie factor.
Oh, of course not.
Are they the type who wants to check off all the Michelin-starred restaurants and culinary hotspots?
Yeah.
Or are they more interested in discovering those hidden gems, those family-run trattorias, where the recipes have been passed down for generations?
Right, like the real deal.
Okay, so we've got vibe, and we've got food style. What else should be on their decision-making checklist?
I think budget is a key factor.
Yeah, for sure.
Modena and Parma definitely have more of those luxury options.
Right.
But Bologna offers great value for budget-conscious travelers.
Good point. And then there's the question of transportation.
Yeah.
Are they planning to rent a car and explore the countryside? Or are they happy to rely on public transportation and stick to the city centers?
And this is where the practicalities come in.
Right.
Remember, Bologna has those excellent train connections,
Yes.
making it easy to hop to other cities if you want to explore further afield.
Right. So if someone's envisioning a multi-city adventure, Bologna might be the strategic home base.
Exactly.
But what if someone's more of a slow traveler? Somebody wants to really soak up the atmosphere of one place.
Then Parma, with its smaller size and more manageable layout, might be the perfect fit.
Yeah, I can see that.
You can easily explore the entire city center on foot, and the surrounding countryside is just a short drive away.
I'm starting to see how each city tells its own story, and it's up to the traveler to decide which narrative they want to be a part of.
I love that.
So to bring it back to Bologna and Parma, how would you sum up the unique personality of each city?
Okay, let's paint a picture.
Okay.
Modena is like that effortlessly cool friend who knows the best vintage shops, can talk about art and design for hours, but also isn't afraid to get their hands dirty restoring a classic car.
Oh.
They're all about that blend of sophistication and passion.
I love that. What about Bologna?
Bologna is like that wise, slightly eccentric professor who's seen it all, done it all, but still gets excited about sharing their knowledge with the world.
I like it.
They've got stories for days, a twinkle in their eye, and a deep appreciation for good food and good conversation.
Okay, I'm already picturing myself sitting in a cafe with that professor, soaking up their stories.
You do?
And last but not least, how would you describe Parma?
Parma is like that elegant, understated friend who knows how to savor the good things in life. They're all about quality over quantity.
Right.
Whether it's a perfectly aged prosciutto, a glass of local wine, or a quiet evening spent enjoying the company of loved ones.
I'm feeling very zen just thinking about Parma.
I know.
So let's say our listener is leaning towards Parma, but they also really want to visit the Ferrari Museum and try some authentic balsamic vinegar.
Right.
Is it feasible to do those things from Parma?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Remember we talked about the driving times?
Yeah.
It's about an hour and a half from Parma to the Ferrari Museum in Maranello.
Okay.
And about an hour to the balsamic vinegar producers.
So a day trip is totally doable.
Yeah.
It just requires a bit of planning.
Exactly.
And think about it this way.
Yeah.
Those scenic drives through the Italian countryside are part of the experience.
For sure.
You're not just rushing from point A to point B.
Right.
You're savoring the journey.
Exactly.
I love that perspective. So even if you choose Parma as your home base, you're not limited to just Parma.
Right.
You can still experience the highlights of Modena and the surrounding region.
Exactly.
It's all about prioritizing what's most important to you.
Precisely. And that brings us back to our listener and their decision.
Right. We've given them a lot to think about.
We have, but ultimately the choice is theirs.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, from leaning towers to prosciutto, from fast cars to slow food.
Exactly.
But how do you actually make the call?
Right.
It feels like all three cities are winners.
And in a way they are.
Yeah.
But I think it boils down to this.
Okay.
Which city's story speaks to you most?
Ooh, I like that.
Is it Modena, that blend of high-tech and artisan, the unexpected pairing that thrills you?
Or maybe it's Bologna, that feeling of being surrounded by history, walking those ancient streets, but also indulging in a vibrant, modern food scene.
Right.
And then there's Parma, that sense of peace, of taking time to appreciate the finer things.
Yes.
Whether that's a piece of art or a perfectly aged cheese.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like we've given our listener 3 different doors to walk through.
I like that.
Each one leads to an amazing adventure. But the scenery, the pace, even the soundtrack is different.
And sometimes it's not even about the things you see, but the feeling you get when you're there.
Okay.
Do you want to feel energized, stimulated, maybe even a little overwhelmed by the constant buzz?
Yeah.
That's Bologna.
But if you crave a sense of calm, of being able to breathe deeply and soak in the beauty without rushing, then Parma's calling your name.
It is.
and Modena.
Yeah.
It's for those who like a little surprise, a little juxtaposition. It's a reminder that amazing things can happen when you combine seemingly opposite elements.
It is.
So to our listener out there,
yes,
here's our final bit of advice.
Okay.
Don't overthink it.
Right.
Look at the pictures, read the descriptions, and then close your eyes. Picture yourself in each city.
Okay.
Where do you feel most at home?
Because ultimately, the best travel experiences are the ones that connect with you on a deeper level.
I agree.
It's not about checking off a list. It's about finding those places that resonate with your soul.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
So there you have it.
Yes.
Our deep dive into Modena, Bologna, and Parma. 3 incredible cities, each offering its own unique taste of Emilia-Romagna.
We hope this has given you the information and, more importantly, the inspiration you needed to make your decision.
Right.
And remember, no matter which city you choose, you're in for an amazing adventure.
Buon viaggio.
Yeah.
And hey, send us a postcard when you get there.
We would love that.
Awesome.